Yeah,
It's very
just
frustrating.
really, really frustrating. Hard for Triple H to beat the allegations of not booking your black talent properly when you consistently
Dude.
do things like this.
What's going on, everybody? The boys are back in town. 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 Wicked, 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 wicked remix. Oh, ba, oh, ba, oh, ba, oh, ba, oh, ba, oh, ba. I mean, I'll tell you what, Dylan. We'll start right off with the ruler. Oba Femi, man, the hottest wrestler currently in WWE right now. Anybody as scorching hot as this guy?
I don't know. After those last 2 weeks, it's hard to put anybody on that level, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about it a few weeks ago. I was a little hesitant about them doing Brock versus Oba, but I'll tell you what, Oba just smacking around Brock these past couple of weeks has got me a little excited, but also a little nervous for this WrestleMania match. So it'll be fun to see how that goes, because I believe, did we talk before he answered Brock's challenge?
Yeah, we definitely did, and I definitely threw him out there as an option of someone to answer Brock's challenge. Obviously, I definitely didn't see it happening the way it did, but super happy to have that be the way it happened. So, of course, we can just go over the segment because I thought the segment was also just beautifully done, to where you have Seth come out, and Seth and Paul Heyman are kind of have this face off before Paul Heyman says the FAF5 or whatever, and then Brock Lesnar's music hits. And then we're getting a Brock and Seth kind of face off sort of thing, right? And I like what they did here because they knew that this was a direction that the people saw them going toward. And they also knew it was a direction that the people weren't going to be super crazy about. So the idea that they tease this a little bit, make us think this is where they're going with it before those lights hit, and then we get the ruler coming out, and I mean very quickly just power bombs Brock Lesnar in a way that I don't think I've ever seen Brock Lesnar be manhandled before. I don't think he's ever been lifted up that high in the air.
Probably never in his life.
That's what I mean. Like, that was truly, it was unlike anything I've ever seen before. And
Caused Michael Cole to curse.
Yeah, and then he gets Oba's foot on top of the chest, points at the WrestleMania sign. And there it is, setting it up. Oba's going to answer Brock's open challenge. Then, of course, you get the following week as well, where we're setting up for another little face-off, and Oba takes out Brock again. So they're really building up Oba Femi as a legit competitor against Brock Lesnar right now.
He's the guy. He's the chosen one.
So awesome to see. So I'll tell you this. It's hard to see the direction they go with this long term, right? Because part of me goes, all right, well, maybe does this mean Oba's going to retire Brock, right?
Okay.
In the long term. Because that's the only way you can justify an Oba loss at WrestleMania.
Let's not even put that out there.
I'm just saying, like, it's a very real possibility.
Oh yeah, it's probably very likely.
Yeah, so I think the only way they justify that is Oba being then the person in the end, probably at SummerSlam, which is in Minnesota, where Brock's from, to retire Brock.
Okay.
That's kind of my thought there, unless they just decide to go with Gunther retiring Brock, like, after Mania and just completely pivot back to the career killer. But Man, Oba is about as over as anybody on the roster, and
Dude.
I am so excited to hopefully see him fucking beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, dude.
Yeah, so I will say part of me is slightly worried that the way Oba's been manhandling Brock during these past couple of weeks, that I feel like because of that, I feel like the odds of Brock winning, at least in my opinion, go up slightly. Does that
For
have any
sure.
effect on you? Like, are you feeling the same way? The more Oba's just beating the shit out of Brock, is it the more that you think Brock's going to have a better chance of winning at Mania? Because that's really what it's like. That was my whole hesitation with
Probably.
wanting this match, was because I wanted Oba to win. But if
No,
it
I
leads to
totally
Oba
get that.
retiring Brock, then like that would be fine. But it's like, why? Like, if Brock beats Oba, why would Brock wrestle Oba again if he already beat him?
Because he wouldn't do it clean. Um, and I mean, that's like, you could say that. I think that's like an easy, can't, it's hard to go there because then it's just like we could say that about anything. Like, but so much
Sure.
stuff in wrestling makes zero
Sure.
sense, but they just do it. Um, so I think that's like the least of my worries. They'll find a way to keep the storyline going. Especially if it's a thing where, yeah, like Oba's been destroying Brock this whole time, and then Brock like just barely gets away with a win through some Paul
Yambag
Heyman
City.
help or Yambag City or something like that. So I lean, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with you. Back to your question, your original question. Yes, it does make me uh lean more toward a Brock win the more that Oba, gets one over on Brock. I don't. I mean, I would be completely shocked if we don't see Brock get one over on Oba a couple times before this. Before we get to Mania, because Brock still does have a few more appearances on Raw. So I, yeah, I would be shocked if Brock doesn't at least get the upper hand a time or two.
Yeah.
And I'd also be interested to see if we get. I mean, I'm would really love it. I don't necessarily think it's. I don't know if it's super needed, but I would love if we got Oba cutting a promo, just like a legit promo. Um,
He should.
because yeah, like I said, I think this is a situation where I don't think, like, if it doesn't happen, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I think, um, specifically for this, just because it was like an open challenge and all the other stuff. But yeah, no, I'm definitely, and I think the big thing is that it's just Oba is, he's such like he's such a presence, and he's so like gifted in the ring, and he's so physically he's such like a physically dominating presence, that it's very easy to forget that he can go on the mic. Um, so that's just something I would really love, that I hope they give him the opportunity to go out there and cut a promo and show
I feel
really
like
why.
they've gotta.
I think they will too. I think there's
Like the week
like a
before.
something, at least like a backstage, like at
Right.
least give us something to where
Dude,
he's
he's gotta
dropping.
go to the ring and talk his shit. Right?
Listen, man, I'm with you, but I'm just trying to keep wishful thinking. Like, I'm not trying to keep the idea of how are they going to perfect this along the way, because they're just not going to do that. Plenty of these storylines are not going to get the proper build they deserve. So I think more in my head, I'm just like, yes, perfect world. He goes to the ring and cuts a promo, but I just want him. I want to get like real words from Oba telling us why
Yeah.
he's deciding to do this,
Yeah.
and why he is going to beat Brock Lesnar in his eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't, because I think this is a situation where I could see WWE viewing it where they think Oba's actions will speak louder than his words, which, like, yes, these
Yeah,
first two times, like, yeah, but it's like, all right, talk your shit. Talk your shit, young man. I want you to let me know what you're going to do to Brock at WrestleMania. You feel
yeah,
me?
man, big time.
So that's
Um,
happening night 2 of WrestleMania. We have
I
gotten,
leave it. That's
well,
confirmed.
based off of the graphics, we could tell.
Okay. Why is
So
that?
there's two different graphics.
Okay. Why? How do we know which one is night 1 and which one is night 2?
Because Roman and Punk are the blue graphic, and they had said that's main eventing night 2.
Roman and Punk is main eventing night 2. Okay. No, I was just I was just asking. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so all
Interesting.
the blue graphics are the second night, and then the like yellowish ones are night 1.
Okay.
So
but okay, good to know. But I was gonna say, look, we should hop right into this because obviously we had a couple weeks hiatus. I've had some technical issues. But the last thing we talked about was the possibility of Randy Orton turning heel before that contract signing, and then what do you know?
forgot we haven't talked
We got
about it
full
since.
on vintage Viper, Apex Predator coming out and destroys Cody Rhodes because the voices in his head tell him he needs that 15th World Championship. What did you think, Mark? Did you see this coming? What were the?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah,
Dylan. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, I will say too. I mean, your biggest thing against it was there's no way that they're going to be able to get Randy booed. And my thing against it was, I agree with you. I'm not sure that they're thinking about that too much.
mhm.
And to be fair, you were 100% right. The crowd went nuts. The crowd was
Yeah.
all about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like,
they do.
would
that.
I rather
What's
have
gonna happen.
would I rather have had them not do it just because the crowd's going to go nuts? No.
Yeah,
The crowd
I
was
mean-
going to go nuts. It doesn't matter when or how it happened.
Yeah.
It was they were going to go nuts. So I think they're doing a pretty decent job at trying to continue to make Randy the heel in this story. Like, people are gonna root for Randy no matter what. Like, Randy just has his guys. But as far as the casual audience, I would say these last couple weeks they've done a decent job at in my opinion, turning the crowd back into Cody's favor a little bit. More than I thought they would have been able to this quickly is kind of what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Randy is getting booed by any means. I'm more saying I was kind of expecting Cody to get booed in this, and he has yet, and he's not getting booed, and he's at least getting his support. So, but either way, I mean, and we can both agree for sure that a heel Randy Orton makes for a much better match, and a much more interesting story. So,
yeah, I already thought after, I think it was his second, or maybe it was his first promo after he attacked Cody. I thought it was really interesting, his reasoning why, because he was saying, like, it was supposed to be Drew, like it was going to be easy. I was going to listen to the voices in my head and I was going to be able to do all of this, and it was supposed to be against Drew, but you had to go out there and you had to change everything. He was like, so what am I supposed to do? I still need number 15. This is the way I'm going to do it. And it's just, this wasn't
like,
supposed to be like this.
Yeah, just because you changed the plan, like, I can't change my plan. I've had this plan in place to do what I got to do, and I'm sorry that it's got to be you, but yeah, man, it was great. I'm really excited to see what more we get from the story over these next couple of weeks. You've got some. One of the big things is you had some ideas on who Randy Orton may have been speaking with on the phone over these last few weeks.
Yeah.
I believe the first one you said was, you had a few. Dusty.
I believe Dusty was one.
But then I kept saying Dusty was dead, and I was like, I don't understand. Cowboy Bob Orton is alive. We did. So
Flew
it
to his
definitely
house
could be him.
to make sure he was still alive.
Definitely could be Cowboy Bob Orton. Any chance it's Ted DiBiase Jr.?
He's innocent.
Recently acquitted of all his charges. Found innocent.
Maybe. Nah.
So the thing is, like, I would think it'd be good. getting Ted Jr. in the story would be cool, but like only like 40% of the crowd would get it. Maybe less. Like, so it's like, it's a tough one. And I don't know. If you ask our good pal Joe Farr, he would say, get Ted DiBiase Jr. in this storyline.
So, my reasoning behind Dusty, real quick, I know Dusty has passed away. I was just more so of like, all right, Randy's kind of really starting to lose it now and listening to the voices in his head, and he thinks he's on the phone with Dusty, but it's just like the voices in his head he's picturing as Dusty. That's kind of was my thought process behind that. I also like, this is heel Randy. This is like the best heel ever. Like top 3. Like when Randy Orton's pure heel Randy Orton, like it's scary. And so I could just easily see him being like, yeah, Cody, I was talking to your dad on the phone. Something along those lines. Maybe Ric Flair. Like,
yeah, that was one I was thinking of, but I was like, I don't
think they want anything to do with Ric Flair.
Not that they like don't want anything to do with him, at least just in like a storyline capacity. Like, like I'm like I think you're right. Like, yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Like, they don't want anything to do with him. As far as
let him rest. Let him just,
yeah, like if they're gonna do anything with Ric Flair, it's a quick appearance. They're not going to give him a job that's integral to a storyline.
Yeah, a WrestleMania main event storyline.
Yeah, as much as like to your point, it 100% makes it. It probably might even make the most sense for it to be Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I mean, who else? The Rock, I guess, is always an option you gotta throw in there.
Unfortunately. It's funny because I was like seeing people say The Rock, and I was like, yeah, it would make sense for The Rock to want to stick his nose into this awesome storyline, just for him to not maybe show up one time in Las Vegas. Like, it's just typical
what
Rock.
Else? I mean, I think you had a good you called out Cowboy Bob Orton to me pretty quickly, and then you seemed to back off it and not to be as confident about it, but I felt like it was a good guess.
Yeah, I would say like he's probably number 1. I would put, unfortunately, The Rock at number 2.
Yeah,
and then Dusty.
You had some good guesses though that I definitely didn't. I don't know why my mind didn't go to Cowboy Bob Orton first, but once you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think we'll find out who's on the phone with?
I think we got to, right?
We still don't know who attacked Jacob.
Yeah, I think that was Randy, probably.
All those months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what Drew said.
Okay.
So I think Drew's probably right. No, okay. I think, I don't know if he would like, I guess he wasn't there, but like in this past Friday, he did where he was like, you're blaming me for attacking you all those months ago. Everyone knows that was Randy Orton.
Okay. That's fair.
Which I was like, once he said it. Who attacked Jay?
We've got,
I think the Vision.
We still don't have a confirmation on who did it. That's all I'm saying. We got some.
I think
open-ended
I'd be surprised
questions.
if we ever get a confirmation on who attacked Jay.
Yeah, probably not.
But I think
just pivoted.
Yeah, I think the vibe at least is that it was Logan in theory, and then Logan took a spot. Because at least from the direction they're going with the tag team titles, it seems like they might go this direction toward Mania,
dude. The Vision Tag Champs by the time this comes out?
No, I don't think so. I think they lose, and then I think they probably make a Mania match between the Usos
in a street fight.
Maybe something like that. Is what the street fight is this week, right?
Tonight for us.
Yeah, I think maybe they do it like
it's at the Garden too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't see the Usos losing this close to Mania specifically.
Yeah, well, okay.
Well, I'll say this. Okay. Let me continue. Yeah. All the other people, I know we've had plenty of people losing on the course up to Mania. But I think the Usos are at like the list of people to where it's like the Usos would be the team that they're taking the titles off somebody else to put on the Usos so the Usos can have a title match at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like in the same way that they just did to Melo to Sammy. Like I think
We'll get into
we're
that
all, yeah, I
shortly.
know. But I think we're already kind of you never know though. And if they do, then I think it'll just be a rematch at Mania between the Vision and the Usos. Maybe that's what happens actually. Actually, I can 100% see that. Probably
The
now
street
that I
fight
think
is
about
what's
it.
giving me.
Well, I didn't even think about the fact that the Usos would probably just win them right back at Mania. But yeah, I can see that now. Now that I think about that.
Is there any shot that Braun Breaker comes back to help the Vision win the tag titles?
I think this is a good pivot into that because what the hell is Seth Rollins gonna do?
Dude.
Because I'll tell you what, the top option at this point looks like Seth Rollins versus Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what other direction they're going with
He's
this.
really only feuding with Paul Heyman right now.
That's what I mean. So I'm like, unless they bring back Braun, it feels like they're just going to put Paul Heyman in a match.
Dude.
Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that, but I'm like not even joking. I'm like, if I had to put my money right now, that's
think
probably
there's a better chance than people would think.
Yeah, I think that's more what I'm saying.
Rollins.
I think the hope is definitely that Braun comes back.
So I'll say this: if Braun doesn't come back by the time this is out for us on Monday Night Raw, then I don't think he's going to be back for Mania.
Yeah, you think it would have to be today, right?
Yeah, to cost the Usos the tag titles, it ties everything in. Because, dude, we're only like 2-ish weeks out from Mania. Like, if not now, like, when's he gonna come back? If they do like an open challenge thing, like obviously everybody's gonna know it's gonna be Braun. Seth is going to know it obviously has to be Braun. So it's like the other thing is like, is there any shot that like the Usos lose their tag titles and then they throw Seth and LA Knight in the ring as a tag team? Triple threat, 1-on-1 for the tag titles.
So like Seth and LA are just a random team just for this match?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, to take on the Vision for the tag titles if they win.
It's definitely not nothing. Ooh, what about this? What about this?
Lay it on me.
What about...
I'm excited.
So we had... Our boy LA Knight was the one who drove away the ambulance with Paul Heyman inside of it.
That is true.
But we never really got more to do with that. What if Paul and LA decided to link up in that moment and they swerve it's LA Knight is a new member of the Vision since they're running out of options and they throw him against Seth?
Yeah, I mean, as
I don't
right
hate it.
now,
I mean, I like that better than the tag team.
Like it better than Seth versus Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario for sure is that Braun Breaker comes back.
Yeah, I mean,
I still have
like,
hope. I will say, like, I really do.
I have hope until approximately 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight.
Okay, that's fair.
After that, I won't have any hope.
That's
but
fair.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Seth is going to do if Braun Breaker doesn't come back tonight. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think it's something to do with LA Knight, probably, but
I also feel
not
like they would have
sure what.
introduced a new leader if they thought Braun was going to be out, or they would have added members if they didn't think Braun was going to be ready for Mania.
No, I think it's definitely. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's really, I have no idea where it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, those tag titles are going to get defended at Mania.
Big time. I think you probably convinced me, though. I think they are going to, I think the Usos are going to lose tonight, actually. I think they're doing it just to. No, you're good. I think they're gonna do it just so the Usos can win them back at Mania though, and then have like a big Uso moment at
Okay.
Mania.
Yeah, have Braun Breaker cost them. That's how you set up
Yeah.
Usos versus the Vision, Braun versus Seth. I kind of talked myself into Braun returning tonight because it's at the Garden, Dylan. They love having big moments at Madison Square Garden.
No, I'm with you. I think I talked myself into Braun returning just because I don't think they would. I don't think Seth would seem so directionless right now unless they had a plan like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
could be wishful thinking, but who knows?
I'll get into the matches that are for night 1 on Saturday. So you've got Drew versus Jacob in an unsanctioned match.
But yeah, that became official.
Close.
Yeah,
we were
got
close. Wrong person.
Wrong person. Yeah, what did we say? We said AJ Styles versus Gunther was going to be in a
unsanctioned match.
Unsanctioned. That's okay.
This is awesome. Give me more.
Yeah, no, this is going to be awesome. I'm over the. Can't wait for this. Can't wait for this. This is going to be match of the weekend, match of the year contender for sure. Just
big time.
Just based off the potential.
So then we have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC title is official for night 1.
Felt like a bit of a lock, but
a while now.
Yeah, but glad to see it's official.
Probably since WrestlePalooza or whatever, when AJ made Becky tap. And then, obviously, you've got Cody versus Randy, which is the main event, which we talked about. And then you've got Steph versus Liv Morgan for the women's world title, which I want to talk about that because, boy, did their interaction on Monday Night Raw get me 100 times more excited for this match.
They
this
beat
is a
the hell out
story.
of each other, dude.
This is a sleeper storyline heading into Mania, I feel like.
I agree.
Not enough people are talking about this one.
I agree. But I'm really in it. And it's hard to see Liv losing at Mania. But then again, Steph is great. And she really does a great job at standing strong on her own. So I think I'm excited for this match. And that's the other thing. It should be an absolute banger.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of your best women's wrestlers on your roster. And then lastly, Dylan, we hinted at it. Sami Zayn defending his newly won United States Championship against Whoop That Trick Williams. I was pretty peeved that they did our boy Mello dirty like this.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You ain't
Seems
wrong.
Unnecessary. Seems unnecessary to put the title on the line for this match to happen.
Does. I'm just pissed for Mello. I mean, the big thing is, and it's like, I love Sammy. And I want Sammy to be on Mania, no doubt. But it's like, you got Trick versus Mello right there.
Dude.
You have it right there.
What are we doing?
And then you decide to not do it. Because you
then you decide to take the title off of Mello.
No, that's what I mean. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I understand they have their things where they're like, but they don't view Carmelo on the same level as they view Sammy. How are you ever supposed to? If you don't put them in the spots to elevate themselves.
I mean, but also they have to view Mello very highly if he's been wrestling every single week for the past few months and he's been holding down the U.S. title just for it to get stripped 3 weeks before WrestleMania for some match that doesn't need the U.S. title. Like, you're not doing Trick versus Mello. That's fine. You want to wait for that. That's fine. You could still do Sammy versus Trick without the title. And then I don't know why they wouldn't do Mello versus Ilya. Like, I know we've gotten it, but they can do one final time at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. It would have been a freaking banger. Like, I don't know why they think that this match needed to have the U.S. title. Like, it's very frustrating.
Really, really frustrating. Hard for Triple H to beat the allegations of not booking your black talent properly when you consistently do things like this.
You ain't
Um,
kidding.
so it's just like hard, and and I can't even imagine how black fans feel. You know what I mean? And that's coming from someone who we're people who have like no pun intended zero skin in the game, and it's like, and it still pisses us off that we see it happening. So yeah, I don't know. It's just really a frustrating. I hope Melo's on Mania somehow, but
Dude, I don't think he will be.
neither do I. I don't know. It seems like you don't. Seems like you only do this to take him off Mania. So I don't.
Yeah,
We'll see where
I
they
don't.
go with it. But I'm pissed for Melo. It really sucks.
Dude, like, imagine 2 months ago.
And I hate how they put Sammy in these situations too. I won't lie,
I
because
know.
it's like this is what, and because of their,
Sammy Hogan.
that's what I mean, and it's because of their non-committal of Sammy to the main event,
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like they just keep teasing him in the main event. He'll hang around in the main event, and then when they figure out everything else in the main event, they'll just have him go back and win the mid card until he loses it, and then go struggle back in the main event again. Like, that's not your recipe, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's been the same
and
thing
I'm
with
sure, I don't
Sammy.
know. Like, I'm sure like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure it's annoying for Sammy too, to where he's like, I don't know. He's like, yeah, I'm happy that he's like in this position doing this. But I know for a fact Sammy feels really bad that he just took that title off Melo, who's been pretty much holding it down for a while, and now Melo's probably not going to be on Mania. Like, I know for a fact that Sammy feels terrible about that. So it's just like, it sucks to put. It's unfair for. It's a business at the end of the day. Like, it's your job. You got to do what you got to do. But it's unfair to Sammy, I feel like, to consistently put him in those situations, to where he's made out to look like the bad guy to other people on the roster and to the fans, when, I don't know, Sammy's not going in there being like, you need to put the US title on me and take it off Melo. Like, it's
Yeah.
that's the last thing he's doing, I feel like. So
Yeah. Seems like the
it's
ultimate
tough,
nice
man,
guy.
and it's really, really unfair to Melo, more than anybody. So um I don't know. Fingers crossed that they do something with him moving forward, but it feels like his Mania match is now gone. So that just
Oh,
sucks.
yeah. Yeah, dude, those writers, man, they don't know what the heck they're doing. And
Yeah, man.
we talked about it, probably the last episode, or this may have been off the pod, but you're just talking about how you said specifically WWE will just shift things how they want to shift it for WrestleMania, which has been made very clear in title changes this far out. Why you can't start to build storylines in January when the road to WrestleMania begins, I don't know. Like, why you just take the title off of Melo earlier to build
Triple
the
H loves
story. Like,
harping on
fuck.
long-term storytelling. Long-term storytelling. You've done a terrible fucking job at it over the last like year. Like, you've
Yeah,
done so bad at it, honestly, as far as long-term storytelling is considered.
it's annoying. And like, it's
Um,
like you
and at this
can't, like,
point,
I
all the
understand.
long-term stories are stuff that are, it's like, they're not stuff that were written. It's things that have been formulated over real shit that has happened over time.
They're
Like,
not
I
new
don't know.
stories,
That's what
really.
I mean. Like, well, and that's the other thing too, is like the Punk Roman. The writers aren't doing any work. They didn't write that story. That story is written itself.
Yeah.
So they're just like, that's what I mean. Like, it's just, and that's not to be like, say I don't want Punk and Roman. Like, it's, but yeah, it gets frustrating.
They're more so, I feel like, are just like, instead of them being like, all right, what's a new story that we can tell? They're like, all right, what's a story that we already have that we can tell, that we have done and retell
Yeah.
it? And it's like, also, we haven't talked about it, but like, R-Truth and Priest are tag champs. Saw that
Yeah,
coming from
man.
a mile away.
Yeah, man, they are.
Which, like, they're a fun tag team, but it's like, and like obviously, Wyatt Six and the MFTs, like that feud did not need the tag titles. I was a big fan of that feud when it first started, but God, do I hate storylines where somebody steals something from the other group. Like, who cares?
Take it back.
Like, just take it back. They've taken it back, I feel like, every week, and then it just gets stolen back 5 seconds later. Like, it's very frustrating. Like, and they're talking about ticket sales are down, they gotta drop the prices. Well, there's a bunch of other reasons outside of what's going on in the current product for that. Tourist city,
100%.
same place 2 years in a row. Ticket prices already being too high to begin with. But then it's like, you had 2 matches confirmed up until like March or whenever the chamber was, and then you only had 4 matches confirmed. So now it's like you're 3 weeks out, and now we're starting to get matches confirmed that are just matches that have just been like storylines that are just getting booked, that are just starting now.
Sammy versus
That's why your
Trick is
ticket
just
prices,
kind of like, yeah, it's just like they're just putting together random matches of combinations of people that they'd like to see, and it's like, yeah, Sammy versus Trick is probably going to be an awesome match. You had plenty of
who's winning that?
Trick.
Okay, I agree. I just can't, like, dude, you're giving Trick that U.S. title win at WrestleMania, and you're not doing it against Carmelo Hayes.
I know, it's crazy.
Like, and I bet you Melo's just gonna go after Trick following Mania.
100%.
Like,
they just don't think it's big enough for Mania for some reason.
But Sammy versus Trick is?
Yeah, even though Melo versus Trick has like real life shit that has written itself over time, the best stuff. The stuff that writes itself over, like, so annoying.
Like, the story between Trick and Sammy is just Trick's kind of came up and started talking to shit to Sammy, like he did for everybody on the roster.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
It's not a real
like, that's
story.
all it is. It's nothing great is there, although the match will be fun, and obviously Trick's entrance is going to be unreal. But let's pivot.
Yeah. It's been interesting. It's been kind of awkward.
Yeah, you could say that again.
So, of course, yeah, we had the recent development of Michin and B-Fab joining Jade Cargill. Which I'll tell you this, I don't hate Jade. Like, I don't hate that at all, like, having 2 people align with Jade. I think that makes sense. I think that combination of those 3, I like. I don't think it's a bad combination of Jade to then lead them to. I mean, the way it happened felt like it made 0 sense. Like, it feels like B-Fab and Michin have just been, like, so against Jade for so long, and then I guess they finally just caved and are now on her side.
Jade has been beating the shit out of them for months.
That's what I mean. Like, it just could have. It could have been like. I understand the if you can't beat them, join them type of heel turn. It makes a ton of sense. Like, you can do it. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but they just didn't explain it to us at all. It just happened, and then we were just like, and then the promo this past week was really weird, in my opinion. Like, when
I think they've all been
B-Fab
weird. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I know, but
week.
but this past week, I mean more specifically when Michin and B-Fab were now involved in the promo, and they both did their own talking, but
they didn't say why they joined Jade.
They did. They kind of were just like, she's at the top. We want to be at the top. Like, that sort of thing. Like, it was very much like, if you can't beat them, join them sort of thing. But there was no setup.
All right. Well,
it was like,
that sucks.
Yeah, no. And it just, like, randomly happened. Like, we could have at least gotten, like, let's get some.
Well,
Let's get some Jade
Well,
in the background talking to BFAB a little bit over a
well,
month.
they
Let's
did
get
do
some.
that. They did do that.
They did? For how long?
They only did it once.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, build it.
They
Let's
had Jade
not
talk
like.
to BFAB behind the scenes, um, at like
Yeah,
maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
yeah, but I mean, like, you know what I mean. Like, build it up. Like Jade. Like, I liked the kind of BFAB being like, nah, get away from me, Jade, and BFAB being Jade being like, people like us need to work together. We're powerhouses in this. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, and slowly get her on board, and then finally get the turn, and Jade's got people on her side. Like that's, and I mean, and that's the classic way to build it. Like that's how you build the, um, and I think the big thing was that they just felt like Jade needed, like they just needed some lackeys for Jade, and I don't blame them at all. Like I don't hate the idea of Jade having lackeys. I think she's a good person to have lackeys, but the way it was set up so quickly and just thrown together and was just so like weird and doesn't make sense. Um and then it's also like, yeah, the promos this past week, there's just like, I mean, and it's been every time. Like they can't,
And
these
it's
women
also
obviously.
Rhea. It's also Rhea too.
No, yeah, Rhea has
Like it's
not been.
everybody involved. Like I don't know
It's
if like
every.
Rhea just doesn't care. Rhea seems very clocked out for this and like whatever.
I think they both do. I think they
Yeah,
seem like they legitimately just really don't like each other. Like don't like working
maybe.
together, and it's not coming across in a way that's like
Cool.
Punk and Seth, right? Or like
Yeah,
it's coming across in a way that's uncomfortable, and that
yeah.
you're like, oh, it's not like these people hate each other so much I want to see them fight. It's like these people are so like weirdly passive aggressive toward each other that like they don't let each other talk. That's the number one thing that bothers the shit out of me. And Rhea's not innocent in it. Like Rhea does her fair share of it, but this past week it was specifically Jade that was really pissing me off, to where she's just like, every time Rhea starts talking, she's just like, "Oh, well, that's right." It's just like so like, and then like, and Rhea does it too. Like, I'm not saying like this past week it wasn't, as Rhea didn't really do it a ton, but she's definitely not innocent in it at all. To where someone's cutting a promo and Rhea goes, "Oh, but that's why this, right?" Like in the middle of while they're talking, and
Yeah.
they do it a bunch to each other, and it really just like, it just cuts off, it like cuts the segment off at the legs and just makes it so weird. um I'm interested to see how the match turns out, because like it feels like he could just very easily delve into these two women being pissed at each other and throwing stiff ass shots. So I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I wonder how long this match is going to be. Like I
Not
almost think
very
this is going to
long.
be a quick match.
Yeah,
um
unfortunately. This I would be surprised if this goes north of like 12
um
minutes.
and I'll tell you what, like I'm not, and like we're saying, I think I'm a much bigger Rhea fan than I am a Jade fan. Um, but Rhea is definitely not blameless in the. It seems like you said, she seems very checked out, and like she is not interested in doing this, which is just not the way to conduct business. Um, but then it's also understand it from the perspective of like, I'm trying to cut a promo and this person continuously just keeps cutting me off, and it's just like like they just do not get along, and yeah, it's awkward more than it is intense. And it's
Yeah.
uh like we said, it's not like in a way of like a heated rivalry between Punk and Seth that like feels like, oh man, this is gonna explode, I need to see these guys beat the hell out of each other. This is more of a, this is just awkward, we should probably just all go our separate ways here. Like like
Yeah. So, um, two things. Number one, while we were talking on people talking behind the scenes, behind the camera shots and stuff, Austin Theory was talking to Maxine Dupree. I just want to throw that out
yeah,
there.
we did have that.
Um, maybe she's a new member of the Vision. We'll see. Just wanted to put that out there, so in case anything happens, we saw it, we knew about it, we're cool. Secondly, I don't think Jade's character would have lackeys. Like, I just don't see
Interesting.
why she would want lackeys. She thinks
No,
she's better than everybody else.
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think you
She's that
can
bitch.
maybe, I guess, make the argument that she's just like, yeah, she needs people to do to do the things that aren't worth her time.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, I totally understand
But
where you're
they
coming
also
from.
just like, dude, how many
And the way they
times do
threw
we
it
have
together was so.
how many times do we have the heel, dominant heel, with two lackeys that never win anything? Like, that's also a big pet peeve of mine, is like, that's just how they do these small factions, is the
Yeah, and they
leader's
just
dominant,
never
the
do
other
anything
two,
with them. Yeah.
the other two can just never win a single match. Like, it's the heel 101, right? It's very frustrating. I'm not super pumped for this match, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah, I
we'll
was at one
see.
point, and now I'm just not.
Maybe something will happen. Maybe they'll cut a decent promo. Um, but we'll see, right? I think like they both are skilled enough in the ring to put together a good match. It's just, if the chemistry's not there when they're talking, I don't know how much of the chemistry is going to be there in the ring.
Yeah, not big
So
time. I'm with you, man.
we'll have to see. And lastly, Dylan, potentially I would say the hottest storyline going into WrestleMania: CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I texted you off screen about this, but I don't know like how many more segments we can get between these two.
Yeah, I think we're at the point where they just need to brawl.
Well, they're gonna brawl at Madison Square Garden. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
but
They're
I think
having a
we're at
face
the
off.
I think we're at the point where we don't need many more promos.
Like, how much more could they say?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't even know how much more we can say about this. Like, this has just been brewing for a while. It's the one
Well,
match we've had, so it's the only match we've been able to talk about ad nauseum.
yeah. But we got a new development that I thought was interesting.
What was that?
Mr. I Eat Too Much, Jey Uso, sort of calling the shots for Roman
Yeah, he said, "Joe,
to attack Punk.
get him, get him."
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Jey Uso called the shot. Yeah, no, that was cool. I did like that a lot, so I'm interested to see where they go with that. That was
I
definitely
didn't
really
love
cool.
Punk laughing after Roman beat the shit out of him.
Neither did I, but that's just Punk. Punk's just an asshole.
Which, like, I like a normal beatdown, like, is fine, but like he kicked the crap out of him. Like, I don't think he
Yeah.
should have necessarily been like. I don't think it like. I don't know. I know he's like a snotty little dickhead, kind of, but it's like, okay, if you just beat him up normally and you just like ground and pound him, like it's okay. But like he put him through the damn table and just like whooped that boy all across the arena.
No, yeah, I'm definitely with you. I think it's just like at this point I tried. I'm just like, whatever. That's just Punk being Punk. It's annoying, but
I
ain't
also
gonna
think it was
change.
probably. I think it was probably like a callback to before where Punk hit Roman after Roman called him old and Roman was laughing on the ground, and it's like this.
Yeah, no, totally. That's 100%
just
what
like
it was.
broke each other, which is fine. So like, I don't know. I'll be interested to see kind of what happens with their face off tonight on Monday Night Raw. Dylan, you got any other? Oh well, briefly we could talk about Judgment Day turning on Finn. Did we talk about that before?
No, yeah, we talked about that.
Okay. What's that match? Finn versus Dom?
Yeah, Finn versus Dom. I think that's the main question was like where they go with that match and when we get it confirmed. I would say we probably get it confirmed tonight on Raw. By the time you guys watch this, it's probably locked in Finn versus Dom. I think some sort of stipulation though, probably.
Interesting.
Hey,
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Do you think it's for the AAA Mega title? Probably not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no.
probably not. But Finn would be a pretty cool AAA Mega
Very
champ.
much so. Yeah, no.
Any
I very
other matches
much
you think get added from Raw? We'll say, or SmackDown,
definitely.
we can say too.
definitely Penta will definitely defend the IC title. I think a ladder match. I'm thinking IC
Ooh.
title ladder match.
Okay.
Um, because we've kind of had that's been a little bit all over the place. The IC title division. He's wrestling somebody tonight. Kofi for the title.
Okay.
And then we've had the stuff that's been messing around with like Javon and Kofi. So I have a feeling those are like probably like a 6 to 8 man ladder match, with
Okay.
3 of the people being. I'd feel pretty confident to lock in 3 of those people as Kofi, Javon Evans, and Penta.
Okay. I feel like Grandes, I don't know why they didn't book that match yet.
Yeah, mask versus mask for the Grandes for sure.
I don't like. That one seems fairly obvious. I would
Mhm.
be very shocked if that's not on the card, and probably very upset if that's not on the card. So we'll have to see, Dylan, what recent developments we get in the coming weeks as the road to WrestleMania continues. It continues to be a bumpy, path changing road. So we'll have to see what other shenanigans happens as the weeks go on. Make sure to like this video, click that bell so you get notified every single time we upload a new video, and make sure you're subscribed. A good portion of you are not subscribed. That happens with a
The
lot of
hell?
YouTube channels. I think like 80 to 90% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribed. We're cool guys. You're cool guys and gals and everything else. So,
Listen, half the time you don't even realize that you're subscribed to these channels. I swear to God.
dude,
I'm subscribed to so many channels that I don't even realize. You won't, it's not even a big deal. Just do it. It
I
doesn't
don't know.
cost money. It doesn't, like, just hit the button
Free.
and then
It's free.
you never, it's like half the time I subscribe to these channels and I'm still subscribed to channels that I haven't watched in 10 years. But I supported them at one point, so why should I not stay subscribed? Because it doesn't
Yeah,
even affect me at all. So just subscribe.
exactly. Just subscribe. All right, Dylan. With that being said, I'm Mark Izzo. He's Dylan O'Brien. This has been another episode of the Burning Hammer Podcast. We'll catch you in the next one.